Again, it's going to be very hard to try to do this when his elbow is bent, okay? It's going to be quite difficult. It can happen, it can work, all right? So there's no absolutes, okay? But when I extend them, it makes it a bit easier to drag my partner. As far as your grip goes, like I told you guys earlier, there's a multitude of grips. The big thing is that you have a secondary grip. This is the primary grip, right? I have a connection to his head. I'm trying to connect his ear to his bicep. Obviously, it's not always gonna happen, right? Even if I get a little bit of a tilt across the center line with the head, that's fine too. But ideally, we can get his head all the way to his bicep. Now, again, going back to the secondary grip, this is my primary grip. Why is it my primary grip? Because it's the number one thing that's important here, okay? The secondary grip is not as important. I can go under, I can go thumb up, I can grab the wrist. Any of these things, right? As long as I have something to pull him through with, okay? So as we continue to do this move, I want you guys to play with the different grips. You can grab the wrist, you can go thumb up, you can go palm down. If there's another grip that you know that maybe I don't, just do that either. That's the big thing is that you have something pulling on the arm while your primary head is connecting his ear to his bicep. Does this make sense? Okay? Now I just want you guys to add a little, I'll call it a feel to this, all right? So a lot of times when I do this, I'll do a little bit of a snap, okay? And a lot of times when you start to snap, this guy might come up just a little bit. You don't have to overreact, just literally come up a little bit. That exactly right there. That's gonna make the takedown a lot easier. It's because it's a little momentum, right? So I snap, he starts to come up. Now the takedown becomes really easy, all right? So think about this. Anytime you snap your partner down, he wants to posture up, right? That's momentum, and we're using that momentum. So I'm using this primary grip, right, to snap. If he doesn't posture up, I might snap his face to the mat, right? So every week it's one of these, I'm sorry. So we're giving those snaps so that we can, as he recovers, we go for it. Now, here's something I want you to think about. Think less, okay? So what I'm not doing, I know it's a bit of a conundrum, right? But what I'm not doing is I'm not going snap, okay, he's coming up, okay, go. No, I'm going snap, and then I'm going. Does it make sense? So it's like if we're wrestling, he's here, I'm snapping, and I'm immediately going, all right? I'm not going snap, okay, he's come up. Does it make sense? Anticipate it, assume that he's gonna come up. Because if he doesn't come up, what's the worst thing that happens? You have a little less pressure to pull him through, okay, no problem, it could still work. But if he does come up, it just gives you a little bit more of that oomph to get him to the ground, okay? The second thing is, a lot of times, as I snap, I'll also push, right? I'll push, and as he pushes back, that's gonna make it easier to pull him through. So I want you guys to play with both of those things, snapping and pushing.
Before we get back to the video, guys, if you're enjoying this video and you want to support me and you want to learn more, you can click the link above. It's going to pop up, or go to brandonreed3x.com/store to find any of my Takedown for BJJ instructionals. You can also go to brandonreed3x.com/email to join my daily email list, where I give tips and tricks about wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and kind of just do a daily journal so I can share with you guys like what's going through my mind. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the video.
Guys, when your partner pushes into you, it's always this idea. If I push into him and he just keeps walking backwards, okay, well, I'm just gonna run him out of balance. But in the real world, if we're competing against each other, I push into him, he's gonna push into me, and that's that momentum that we're using to finish the takedown. So just play with both of these things. We can do two options. Option number one, we snap and then go. And then option number two, I get head to head, I start to drive, he starts to push back, and then we go. Does it make sense? This is just two more ways to kind of build some momentum.
Does the change in level matter? Like if you're over or...
Just snap them. Our bodies are all different. I might have to change level, but you might not. You just gotta feel it. If I snap him and he's reacting, it's good. But there's no perfect, my body has to go 45 degrees, none of that. All right, snap and go, push and go. You guys got it? All right, on three. 1, 2, 3.